Online students, just for the confirmation, tell me, is it audible clearly? Online students, kindly text me in the chat box. Audible clearly? Okay. So let's start with the session. Very good morning, everyone. Fine. So let me introduce myself. I'm Yes. So I'm Kavya. I'll be handling your Selenium automation testing class. And first of all, very good to see that at least few of them are willing to choose Selenium or testing field. And as you know, like it is equally important for every developer or who wants to work in the IT field. It is equally important to know both development as well as the testing side. Okay. So first, before starting with the Selenium automation testing, tell me what is testing? What is testing is all about? What is testing? Please say. Answer. Requirement or not. So you know that like way back in 1956, in that period of time, before that, there was nothing called as testing. Okay. So what happened that slowly the phase of testing came into the software development life cycle because to test the software is according to the given user requirement or not. Because user will be having certain requirement based on that only the software is developed or not. That is what we have to test. Okay. And it is a major role of the test engineer to test whether the given application, developed application, which is developed by the developers, whether it is according to the user requirement or not. Okay. So slowly you have learned about manual testing. So in manual testing, what all the things you have learned? Mainly, what all the things have you learned? Can you recall? Leave about all those jokes, comedies, everything. Just what have you learned in manual testing? Don't tell me the terminologies like black box testing, regression testing, and all. So basically, what have you understood? One application will be there. So you'll be writing, checking, okay, whether it is as per the requirement or not. So you'll be writing different test cases. To write that test cases, what you want, like what is the predefined knowledge you want? Technical something you need? Working, okay. How does the process will work? That you should be knowing. How does the application is working? That you should be knowing. And basic some domain knowledge if you have, that is sufficient, right? So if you take one login application, if you put some invalid user input everything, whether it is working or not, all this nobody will sit and teach you anything. That is like a predefined knowledge you should be having. Okay, basically a human knowledge is required to test the software or the write the test cases. So now you have taken one step ahead to learn the automation testing, that is Selenium automation testing. And you know that like in the industry, manual testing is also followed. With that, now they are coming with a new technology called as automation testing. Okay. So as you know, like testing is very important phase in software development life cycle. As a developer or one who willing to work in the IT industry, you should be having the knowledge of both testing as well as the development. Okay. So when it comes to manual testing, you have understood that. There, anywhere have you written any code like Java code or Python code? Have you written in manual testing class? No, nothing. But in Selenium automation testing class or automation testing is completely involved with programming skills. Okay. So from the day one, that is today onwards, you'll be understanding how the automation will work. From the next class, that is tomorrow onwards, till the end of the automation class, every day you will be writing one or the other code. Okay, code you will be doing. coding you will be doing. Okay. One glitch I have given about what is automation testing. That is, in manual testing, completely human involvement will be there. You'll be writing the test cases. You'll be writing, thinking, okay, this is valid or not, checking that whatever the test requirement is there, that you are matching with the software and you are testing. But in automation testing, what you will be doing, you will be completely writing the code. Only this much you understand out of now. So coming to manual testing and automation testing, let me just differentiate between these two things, because you might be having a question in your mind, why two testing we have to learn, correct? So why manual testing, again automation testing? Okay, if Java I'm learning, completely about Java only we'll be learning, like frameworks or any API, something like that we'll be learning. But in coming to or testing phase, we'll be learning about, we have learned about manual testing. Now we are learning about automation testing. Why these two things are they have brought into, why that two things are there in the testing, we have to understand. See, slowly what happened is, in the IT industry, they started with the manual testing itself. There was nothing called as automation testing. Okay, it is like, I'll give you one real-time example. Just try to correlate it. In olden days and all, when there was nothing, when there was something called as washing machine. Let us take a basic example. Washing machine, everyone are using, right? Why we use washing machine? To wash the clothes, right? Everyone would have used that. So before washing machine, how was the process? Have you seen in the movies and all? So some donkeys will be there. They will put for laundry. Laundry means there will be certain category of people who does only that work. Okay, who takes the clothes from every home. And they used to go to the river or river side. They used to wash the clothes in hand. And then after that, they used to dry. They used to bring that and give it to the respective people. But once washing machine came, what is the process? What is the process? It is also doing the washing. It is also washing the clothes. Yeah, the whatever laundry person, whoever you are giving, that dhobi we used to call, right? So that person is also washing the clothes, and we are all, washing machine also washing the clothes. But both, compared to both, which is more efficient, machine or human? Machine. Why machine? Because humans are something like, in nature, if you take, we'll get bored by doing one task. We'll be having some emotional mindset, everything. If we are good in mood, okay, we will do work properly. If somebody is torturing you, do that, do this, everything, you'll just fed up with doing something and you'll just leave that task, right? And if it comes to, again, when it comes to humans, we will feel hungry, something like physical involvement is also there. So if we pay a hand pains come, like we'll be just leave, okay, fine, let me do it later. All these excuses we will take. But when it comes to machine, nothing is there. No human emotional or nothing is connected with machine. Directly, if you use some electricity, it will keep on working, right? So compared to humans and machine, the whatever the example I have given, same thing you can compare with the manual testing and automation testing. In manual testing, complete human involvement is required. Top to bottom, whatever the testing you're doing, complete human involvement with some tools also they will be using. But if they use that tools also, bug tracking tools also, human involvement is most needed. Okay. But when it comes to automation testing, it is completely the tool. Here, tool, if I talk, you have to understand I'm talking about the software. Okay. In automation testing class, if I tell the word tools, you have to understand I'm talking about the software. So when it comes to automation testing, completely tools is doing the testing. Humans are not involved. Yes, humans are involved, but only 10% of human involvement is required. Rest 90% of the things or testing is done by the tools, okay, or the software. So you guys have to understand how to work on that tool or how to use that software. Clear? If you understand end to end how to use that particular software, then easily you can perform the automation testing also. Okay. So 10% of human involvement and 90% of software is involved in testing. Whereas in manual testing, complete 90% manual. Human involvement is required, but 10% of the tools also you can use, like bug tracking tool, all the other tools, everything. Okay. So this is how we can categorize between automation testing and manual testing. Can you give some more example? Like one is involvement, I have told. Involvement when it comes to process involvement, here manual testing, human involvement is more, whereas automation testing, human involvement is less, whereas tools will do the testing. So similarly, any other differences can you give? Time, very good. So easily you can analyze, okay, what is actually going to happen. So when it comes to human and the machine is doing the task, obviously, compared to humans, machine will do the task very efficiently and very fast. Okay, speed and efficiency will be more when it comes to machines or when the tools are involved compared to humans. Correct? So any other differences? Resource. Yes, that is also very proper, answer you have given. So when it comes to resource also, for example, now if I tell you can't get that proper idea, but going ahead, you'll get the idea about automation testing. So when it comes to automation testing, a software is doing the things, right? So once you purchase that software, okay, so you can use that software in multiple systems and you can do the automation testing. Okay. As I told, now you will not get that idea like how that automation testing is working. But the thing is, once you understand, when it comes to resource, human manual testing requires more resource, whereas automation requires less resource. Okay. So now I can't give the clear picture about how the automation is requiring the less resource because you don't have any idea about automation testing. But the thing is, resource involvement is less in automation testing. Any other things? Accuracy, very good. So when it comes to accuracy also, automation testing will be having more accuracy compared to manual testing because easily you can differentiate here humans, here tools. Okay, any other differences? Skills. Okay, if you go with the skills, okay, skill sets. When it comes to manual testing, what type of skill sets you require? Domain knowledge, if you have, that is sufficient for doing the testing. But when it comes to automation testing, you should be having programming skills, or else you can't perform the automation testing. Okay, so this is one more thing. And any other differences? Think. So difference between manual testing and automation testing. So first we have understood that in manual testing, when it comes to process, efficiency or time or speed, whatever it is that. So automation testing will be more efficient compared to manual testing. When it comes to human involvement, in manual testing, more human involvement is required, whereas in automation testing, tools involvement is required. Okay, human involvement is not required more, whereas tools are involved. And when it comes to manual testing, we have understood that process execution, okay, speed, okay. So execution speed, when it comes to manual testing, automation testing is very speed compared to manual testing. So basically, you don't have idea about automation testing. That is why I have given the example of that washing clothes. Okay. So later, if you once again, one more difference, if you want to know, like test coverage. What do you mean by test coverage? Test cases you'll be having. So, for example, assume that some 100 test cases you have. So you have to complete that. Okay. or some complex test complex test cases you have to write. So in this case, what happens is, when it comes to manually, if you are doing the complex test cases, it will really take time, and it is not clear that it can be achieved properly. Okay, I'm talking about complex test cases, not the simple test cases. But when it comes to complex test cases, this automation testing can easily test the complex test cases. Okay, so everything you will get a complete clarity. Now let us understand the difference only with respect to time, speed, accuracy, human involvement, process involvement, as well as the skill set. Okay, so because only this I can differentiate. Moving ahead, you will only get the complete idea about how automation testing and manual testing will work. Now the question is, ma'am, manual testing is having so many disadvantages, right? Why they are using manual testing still in the company? Right, this you might be having the question, because if you see, even now, they are undergoing this manual testing in the companies. Okay, it is not like completely manual testing is replaced with automation testing. It is not like that. Okay, so they are doing the manual testing as well as automation testing also. So it depends on the project. Okay, it depends on the project. For example, if the project is having less budget, and if it is having very less time to do the testing, and the project size is very small, okay, comparatively, then they will go with manual testing. Okay, that again depends. Okay, so again, if the project budget is more, where they can afford the tools, everything, and also if they want, they have more time also, and they have to complete the task in this particular time period. Depending on the time, money, as well as the resource, they used to choose either manual testing or automation testing. Okay, some cases what happens is, they used to choose both manual as well as automation testing. It is called as hybrid testing. Okay, this process is also there in the company. It actually depends on the what is the budget, what is the time, what is the resource. Based on this, they used to choose manual testing has to be done or automation testing has to be done. Okay, in some cases, what I told, they used to perform both the testing, that is manual as well as automation, and it is called as hybrid testing. Okay, so it is equally important to know, have the knowledge of automation as well as manual testing as a test engineer. And if you have one question in your mind, ma'am, developers will be having more, what is that, salary package, whereas test engineers will be having less salary package. If somebody told you this, okay, not for you, because somebody is doing that brainwash everything. So easily you can check whatever the profiles are there. Okay, you can just go to Naukri or Indeed, whatever the profiles you are getting, job description, and just see the salary package of freshers as a test engineer who knows both automation as well as manual testing. So you can either go for manual testing profile also, or you can go for test engineer profile also, or you can also go for development profile also, because you know Java. Correct. So you guys have made the right decision. Correct. Because see, that is how the gates are open, right? Now, the students who are learning only development, they have only one opportunity to go to and work in the companies. But for you, you can either go as a manual test engineer, separate profiles are there. Automation test engineers also, you can just go and work as an automation test engineer. This side, Java is also there for you. So you can go as a Java developer and you can work as a Java developer also. Then Python also is there. But when it comes to Python and Java, if you have learned Python, I don't know. But if you are willing to learn, then it is very easy to learn Python if you have Java knowledge. Okay, simple as that. So web technologies you have learned, in that JavaScript is there, right? So if you know JavaScript, if you know Java, easily you can learn Python. As simple as that. But If you know manual testing and Java, you can't learn Selenium. Okay, Selenium, practical knowledge is required. Anyways, you'll understand the things. But now, I hope the difference between manual testing and automation testing is clear to everyone. So just take down one note. You can continue in the manual testing notes itself, or else you can maintain one separate notes for automation testing. And mainly, only 80% of, 20% of theory will be there in automation testing class. Remaining 80%, it is practical. Okay. So everyone daily, you have to get your laptop to the class. That is for sure. If laptop is not there, then definitely you will not understand anything in the automation testing class. So every day we used to do the practical automation in the class. Then we used to clarify all the doubts in the class itself. Then you can go out of the class. Clear? So daily you have to get the laptops. That is compulsory. Fine. Take down the heading as difference between manual testing and automation testing. Manual testing and automation testing. So make 2 columns. And in manual testing, first point, write it as in manual testing, for the process involvement, for the process involvement, for the process involvement, for the process involvement, more humans are required. More humans or test engineers are required. Human, I'm just telling humans means I'm talking about test engineers. Okay. So more humans or test engineers are required. Test engineers are required. So first point under automation testing. In automation testing, in automation testing, in automation testing, for the process involvement, for the process involvement, automation tools are required. For the process involvement, automation tools are required. Automation tools are required. Automation tools are required. First, second point under manual testing. Second point under manual testing. Needs more time. Needs more time. Needs more time to complete the testing. To complete the testing. Needs more time to complete the testing because of human involvement. Because of human involvement. I repeat the point. Needs more time for testing because of human involvement. Second point under automation testing. Second point under automation testing. Compared to manual testing, compared to manual testing, compared to manual testing, requires less time, requires less time, requires less time because of what? Tools involvement. Tools is nothing but software. Okay, tools involvement. Because of the tools involvement. Third point under manual testing, less accurate and third point under automation testing, more accurate compared to manual testing. More accurate compared to manual testing. Fourth point under manual testing, fourth point under manual testing, domain knowledge is required for testing. Domain knowledge is required to perform manual testing. To perform manual testing, domain knowledge is required to perform manual testing. Under automation testing, write it as with domain knowledge, programming skills is required. Programming skills is required. Programming skills is required. Fifth point, write it as compared to automation testing, testing, in manual testing, compared to automation testing, in manual testing, less test coverage is completed, or less right test can be completed. Less test coverage can be completed less test coverage can be completed. I repeat the fifth point. Compared to automation testing, comma, in manual testing, less test coverage can be completed. Fifth point in automation testing, using automation tools, using automation tools, using automation tools, using automation tools, more test coverages can be completed, can be completed. Okay. So apart from that, more differences you can tell, okay, in the interview perspective I'm talking. So when it comes to manual testing, so humans are involved, right? For example, if one test engineer is working in the company and he has written the test cases for all the software, assume that. And once after some days, what happened? That test engineer has left the company. Okay, this is the case. So next, whoever the fresher is coming or experienced, whoever is coming, he will be not having from the starting till the ending. He should analyze whatever the tests he has written, and he has to come across, okay, this is the requirement. Everything from the scratch he has to start. Okay. So when it comes to automation testing, completely you are writing the code. Means you are writing the code there for doing the automation. So how to write the code, everything later, let us see. But you are ultimately writing the code. But by seeing that code itself, means one heading, everything will be there. As of now, understand that much. So for example, rotating an array. So you will be understanding this is the exactly what the program is doing. I'm giving one example, that's all. This is not the way they used to write the test cases. But compared to code and the human involvement I'm talking about. Human work is different. Similarly, code is different, correct? But if the code, if they execute that respective code, by what that exactly that code is doing, easily one person can analyze and he can understand. Okay, so this is also one type of advantages. But exactly, I can't tell how exactly I'm not able to make you understand as of now because you don't have the complete idea about automation. So 1, 2, 3 days class after that, I'll be giving few more differences because you'll be having the idea about what exactly is automation testing is all about. Okay. So now understand in our manual testing, human involvement is there. In automation testing, tools involvement will be there. Okay. So now coming to automation testing. So leave about the difference. Difference anyways you have understood. Coming to automation testing, we have to understand one particular automation testing tool. Okay, there are so many automation testing tools in the market. So either it can be application, different applications you will be testing, right? So can you tell me which are the three different or any applications, different types of applications? Can you tell me about different types of applications? Web application, which runs on the browser, which uses browser as a platform. Similarly, mobile applications, which uses mobile as a platform to execute. Similarly, desktop application is there, which uses desktop as a platform to execute. Similarly, so many other platform applications are there. Okay. So coming to these three applications, there are so many testing tools. When it comes to web applications, there is something called as Selenium, QI, so many automation tools are there. When it comes to API testing, okay, API testing, there is APM, Cucumber, so many other API testing tools are there. Similarly, when it comes to desktop application, there is Auto IT, Sikuli, so different types of automation testing tools are there. Coming to mobile application, there are different testing tools are involved for testing the application. Okay. So then in which application you are going to do the testing. If this is the question, you guys will be doing the testing on the web application. I'll not teach you how to do the testing on mobile application. In the course, I'll be teaching you how to do the automation on the desktop application. One single class I will take. I'll teach you desktop application also, how to do the testing on the desktop application. But completely you will be learning how to do the testing on the web application. Okay, web application, complete end to end, how to test the web application you will be learning. Clear? So tell me, what do you mean by web application? Very good. So any application which runs on the browser is called as web application. Okay. So do you guys know how to build the web application? Don't know. How do you create a web application? Which language will you are using for creating a web application? Java. HTML, browser understandable language, you are using HTML, CSS, JavaScript for the functionalities, HTML for the basic structure, CSS for adding the styling, JavaScript or React or Angular for adding the functionalities to the web pages, right? So this basic ideas we should be having to do the testing on the web application. Okay. So what all the things which is required in the automation testing class is what I'll be telling here. So because you should be having that idea. First of all, when you come to automation testing class, this no need to copy. Okay, just for your reference, I'm writing. You should be having the complete knowledge of Java. Why, ma'am? Why Java in Selenium class? That I will tell you, but not complete, at least basics. At least basics, still collection is enough, including collections. Okay, Java is must. Then you should be having laptop with internet connection, or else it is completely waste for attending the automation testing class. Okay, so next you should be having Eclipse and JDK installed, because you are writing Java code. Okay, Eclipse with JDK installation. I will not be teaching this Eclipse and JDK installation in the class, everything. Okay, so next you should be having the idea, complete idea about HTML, CSS. As of now, HTML, CSS is enough. By the end of 2-3 days class will be there. Right? There we will be talking about little bit about JavaScript. Okay, so web technologies is important. Clear? So this all prerequisites when you attend the Selenium class. Without this, please don't attend, because you will not understand anything. Because you are not learning something basic. You are not learning basics. You are learning the advanced thing. One tool, one software. How to use that software you are learning now. Okay. So these are very important. Don't worry. Everything. When I write a single code, also when I use this any web application related thing, I'll be explaining everything and I'll be starting one pressure we can do. But still, one basic knowledge you should be having. Okay, what is HTML? Bring web technologies notes whichever you are making. That is important. Okay, we'll be building few applications and then we will be testing on that also. I'll be teaching you how to create one web application, how to do testing on that web application also in this class. Clear? So these are the prerequisites. So now, why Java you are using? What is the use of Java? So why Java? You will understand when I teach you. Next, I'll be teaching you the process of automation testing. There you will be understanding why we use Java. Okay. So these are the prerequisites. Once look at this and understand. Without this, please don't come to the automation testing class. Okay. So Java, web technologies, laptop, Eclipse, everything is required. Fine. So anyways, internet connection you'll be having here itself. Okay, make good of that. So first class, I'll not do anything practically. Nothing will be there. So theoretically, let's understand about automation. Then tomorrow's class we should be starting itself, we'll be starting with practical. Okay. So now coming to automation testing. I told you that in automation testing, tools are included for doing the testing, right? So let's understand the process of or execution process of automation testing. So tell me on what type of application we are going to do the automation testing in our course? Web application, not the mobile application or desktop application. We are going to do the testing on the web application. Okay. So next, see here. So the complete scenario, how once the software is developed, assume that some Zomato application they have created, and you are working in Zomato company and they have created one application. They have came and gave that software to you. Okay. Now you should start with the automation testing. Leave about the manual. That is it. So once you start with the automation testing, what is the process you should undergo? That is what I am trying to explain you now. So coming to that software, assume that that software is created and it is given to the test automation testing. So you guys all are working at the automation testing there in the company, Google UP. Okay. So first step, what you have to write it, you have to write the test cases for this. Okay, test cases you should write. So you are very good in writing test cases because you know manual testing, right? So how one software, if it is there, what basically you have to test everything, different test cases you can write. Okay. So first step is you have to write the test cases. So next, once test cases is written, next what you have to write is, very importantly, this test cases you have to convert into test script. Okay. So I'll just write it like this. So this will be converted into test script. And what is this test script? So in developer's perspective, if I want to tell, script is nothing but code. In test engineer's perspective, it is script. That's all. You have to basically write a code to performing this test cases. Okay. For example, one example I will give. Login page, let us take. Okay. So if it is a login page, I just use as a rough here. So online students, it's visible, right? Fine. Assume that this is a login page. Login page. So I am telling you to write test case for this. What all different types of test cases you will write? Email, login button it is. Okay. Or assume that email box. So what all test cases you will be writing for that email box? Tell me the test cases. For how will you test this email box? First you will check, okay, whether if I click, I type, whether it is typing or not. First you have to check that from the basic. Next, how will you check? Whether it is accepting @ or not, you have to check, right? So this is one more test case. Next, you will check that name, user name, whatever is there. So it should not be like only only numbers, it should not be there. It should be alphanumeric also. Name and the number also it should include. And finally, it should be having .com or .in or .gmail. Something, gmail.com, yahoo.com. This is there or not, you will be checking, right? All these test cases you will write, right? So same way, some test cases you will be writing. For example, let us assume if I want to click on that and I want to type on that box. First test case, basic test case I'm telling. So that test case, you'll be writing as a code here. How to write a code, I'll teach you. Okay. But which language we used to write the code, that also I'll be telling. But here, you should be using test script. So first test case will be converted into test script. Code is ready. Once code is ready, what you have to do is, this code you have to give it to the tool or the software. Okay, so I'll just write it over like this. So this test script you will be giving to the automation testing tool. Automation tool I will test. So tool means what? Software. Script is nothing but code. Tool is nothing but software. So once you write the code, you should give that code to the software. So what this software will do is, okay, this software duty is to check whatever the test script, whether it is matching in the application or not. Okay. So now in our course, we will be testing which kind of application? Web application, correct? So this automation tool will use what as a platform, if you ask me? Browser as a platform to do the testing. Okay. Why it is using browser as a platform? Because we are testing the web application. That is the reason. If in case, if some other automation tool you are using, for example, desktop application you want to use. So your automation tool will use desktop as a platform to do the testing. Okay. But here we will be using, your automation tool will be using the browser as a platform for doing the testing. Okay. This is browser. So as of now, understand this as a browser. Here. So this is the process and you will be getting, once after this automation is done, you'll be getting the test report or the output. Output is, in the developer's perspective, they used to tell it as output, but as a test engineer, you have to tell it as test report. Okay, because in South India, there is some different names they used to call Lord Shiva, right? But when you go to North India, Shiva itself, but different names they used to call. Same way, when you go and sit in Java class, you tell this as code, you tell this as software, you tell this as output. But when you come to automation testing class, you tell script, tool, test report. It is nothing but output. Okay. So this is the process. Basic understanding is enough as of now, because moving ahead one by one, practical knowledge you'll be getting. Okay. So now coming to the point, as you know, test cases, how you have to write that basically let us understand. But this is very important phase when it comes to test automation test engineers. Test script, in which language we are going to use, or which all language can be used if you ask me. You can write the code or the test script in Java language, or you can write it in Python language, or you can use C#, or you can use Ruby, so many other advanced programming language you can use. From C++, you can't use. Okay, to write the automation test scripts, you can't use C or C++. Above Java, whichever the language is there, Java, Python, Ruby, everything, every languages you can use for writing the test script. Okay, but in our course, which language you guys will be using? Java. So we will be making use of Java for writing the test script. How to write everything later, let us see. So for this, which tool we are using? That is Eclipse with JDK. Clear? Already it is installed, right? Already it is there. So I'm not going to teach you how to install JDK, everything. Java basics we have to start. But when it comes to automation tool, there are so many automation tools involved. So we are going to make use of one of the very famous and open source, freely downloadable tool, that is Selenium. There is paid version also, different tools are there, but we are not going to use that. We are going to use Selenium automation tool to perform the testing. Okay. This part I'll be completely explaining in the class, how to download Selenium, how to use it, every single things we'll be learning in the automation testing class. When it comes to browser, any type of browsers you can use. Either you can use Chrome browser, or you can use Firefox browser, or you can use Microsoft Edge. Okay, so many other browsers are there, but most of the time test engineers choose either Chrome or Firefox. Ma'am, which in our course you will be teaching if you ask me? I'll be teaching both in Chrome as well as Firefox. Okay. So one small changes, that's all you have to do. You can use any of the browsers, that is up to you. But I will be using most of the time Chrome or Firefox browser. Okay, these are the browsers. And make sure that these two browsers are installed in your system by coming to the tomorrow's class. And the test reports, generate the test reports, we will be using different frameworks. In our class, we will be using TestNG. As of now, don't worry about this. So just write it as it is. So either you will be using TestNG or JUnit because you are learning Java, JUnit will be for generating that test report. Okay. So I'll be explaining once again, just understand. So here software will be ready. Once software will be ready, we'll be writing few test cases. I'll not teach you how to write the test cases because certain formats, everything, how to write the test cases, you would have learned in manual testing class. Okay. Here just basic tests we will take. And then our duty is to write the test script, complete code we will be writing. That code we will be giving to automation testing tool. Which tool we are going to use in our course? Selenium. Completely you will be learning about Selenium. And then on which platform we are going to do the testing? On the browser platform. Why? Because we are testing the web applications. Either Chrome or Firefox or Microsoft Edge will be using. Okay. And the test report, this leave as it is, just write these two things. This might be new to you, but to generate the output or to generate the test report, we are going to use TestNG or JUnit in our course. Okay, clear? So just have a note of this completely. This is the process. So now we have to start with this, and this. Test cases. Yes, we'll be writing the test cases also. On the point below that, automation testing, automation testing, automation testing is a process of automation testing is a process of performing the testing using different automation tools, different automation tools, different automation tools. Full stop. And right. Using automation tools, using automation tools, using automation tools, one can perform testing on the performance of the application, one can perform the testing on the performance of the application, comma, find the errors in the application, in less time. Full stop. And write down next point. To perform automation testing, less human involvement is required. Less human involvement is required. Less human involvement is required. Whereas automation tools are involved more. Automation tools are involved more. Automation tools are involved more. Full stop. And right. We can perform automation testing on different applications like mobile applications, like mobile applications, comma, desktop applications, desktop applications, comma, web applications, web applications, etc., etc. And right, one of the application, sorry, one of the tool which is used to perform, which is used to perform automation testing, automation testing on web application, automation testing on web application is Selenium, is Selenium. Is Selenium. Full stop. And take the heading as Introduction to Selenium Automation Testing Tool. Take the heading as Introduction to Selenium Automation Testing Tool. I write out the note. Selenium is a famous automation testing tool, famous automation testing tool Selenium is a famous automation testing tool which is used to test the test what? Web application. Test the web application. Which is used to test the web applications. Second point, write it as Selenium automation testing tool is open source, and freely downloadable testing tool. I repeat, Selenium automation testing tool is open source and freely downloadable tool. Freely downloadable tool. Full stop. Take down one more point. Selenium supports all type of browsers, like Chrome, Firefox, Microsoft Edge, Chrome, Firefox, Microsoft Edge, comma, Safari, 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 comma, Opera, Opera, full stop. And next point, you can write it as Selenium provides famous frameworks like Selenium provides famous frameworks like TestNG, test, right in T is capital, test NG. NG is capital letter. Okay. Next generation. NG stands for test NG, comma, JUnit, J and unit. J caps, U caps. JUnit, comma, N unit, N. JUnit, you write it as JUnit. N unit. All these are frameworks of Selenium. Okay. And test NG. So you'll be learning this too. This is completely related to C#. So you'll be not learning this one. You'll be learning these two things in the course. Okay. Etc. So I repeat that last point. Selenium supports frameworks like TestNG, JUnit, NUnit, etc. Other frameworks are also there, but famous is these two. So we will be covering these two in the course. Okay. So next point. Next point. Selenium supports advanced programming languages like Java, Python. Selenium supports advanced programming languages like Java, Python, C#, Ruby, PHP, etc. Java, Python, C#, Ruby, PHP, etc. to write the test scripts. To write the test scripts. To write the test scripts. So one basic idea I hope you got now regarding what is automation testing and how the process is involved in the automation testing. What is Selenium? Okay. So Selenium is an automation testing tool which is used to perform the automation testing on the web applications. Okay, more specifically, it cannot be used for automating any desktop application or any of the mobile applications. Using Selenium, you can only automate or do the automation testing on the web applications. Okay, so what do you mean by web applications? Any applications which run on the browser is called as web application. So one process also you can write. So steps, write it as steps involved in steps involved in steps involved in the process of steps involved in the process of automation testing using Selenium. Steps involved in the process of automation testing in Selenium. First, step one. Step one. Different test cases will be written. Different test cases will be written based on the software requirement and the software developed. I repeat the first point. Different test cases will be written based on the software requirement and software developed. Second point, test cases will be converted into test scripts or code test scripts or code using different programming languages. Example, Java, Python, Ruby, C#. Write this. Example, Java, Python, C# and Ruby, etc. Full stop and write. There itself you can continue. This is for your reference. Anything for your reference like Java is used in the bracket, you can write, because for you, I'll be using Java. Okay. So next, third step. Test scripts will be given to test scripts will be given to Selenium automation tool to perform the automation testing. To perform the automation testing. To perform the automation testing. Next point, next step you write. Step 5, right? 4. So Selenium uses different browsers as platform. Different browsers as platform. Different browsers as platform to perform the automation testing on web application. On web application. On web application. So note you write, one note you write, note. All this note is for your reference. Okay, note. Web applications are such applications. Web applications are such applications which uses web applications are such applications which uses browsers as a platform to execute. Which uses browsers as platform to execute. Browsers as platform to execute. So give me some example for web applications. Web applications. Which all things you can open in web browsers? Gmail is a web application. Amazon is a web application. Flipkart is a web application. Zomato you can open. Zomato is a web application. Zoom is a web application, right? Anything, any application which you open through the browser is called as web applications. Fine. So web class is going on, right? Which concept is going on? CSS. JavaScript. Okay. So can you tell me what is a web element? Because these are few very important terms we'll be using in the in the future classes. So what do you mean by web elements? What is web element? Everyone have your mobile phones? Open the browser. Open the browser. And there, go to Facebook login page. Don't log in. Facebook sign up page. Because we used to automate all these applications in the class. So go to that application, sign up page. What all the things it is asking? Password, email, everything is there, right? Now in that, tell me which is web web element login button. Which is a web element in that? Whatever you see in that web page, either it might be label, text box, whatever you are seeing, one text, every single thing in the web page is a web element. Keep this in mind. Every single thing in the web page is a web element because on every single web elements, understand every single web elements, we are going to do the automation testing. Okay. Before going to understand about Selenium automation tool or how to write the script, how to execute everything, this basic ideas we should be having because we are not concentrating on any other applications. We are concentrating on the web applications. Okay. So end-to-end knowledge you should be having about the web application. So tell me what is web application? Any application which run on the browser is called as web application. What is web elements? Anything in the web page. Okay, whatever you open now. So whatever you are seeing that, everything is a web element. Okay, every single thing which is created using HTML because you know everything is created using HTML only, right? So everything is a web element in the web page. Okay, clear. Same question I'll be asking in every class because that web element term is very important to us as a test engineer. Okay, so coming to the point, now we have to understand completely about Selenium automation tool. Okay, complete end-to-end discussion will be on Selenium automation tool, how to use it, what all tools or softwares are there in that Selenium, which tool is very important for us to do the automation, how to perform automation testing on that click button, how to perform the automation testing on the hyperlinks, how to perform automation testing on the radio button or checkbox or number box, email box. So many elements are there, right? Everything we are going to learn end to end. Okay. So now, when it comes to Selenium automation tool, okay, few things I want to discuss. That is, Selenium is not a single tool. Okay, Selenium is not a single tool. It is a combination of different tools. Are you understanding? When I tell about Selenium, you might be thinking, okay, Selenium means one software, that's all. No, it is a combination of different softwares. Okay, there are different softwares when it comes to Selenium. So I can easily tell it as components, Selenium components. Okay, Selenium components or suite. Okay, so this is one of the hi-fi words they use for in the interview to ask the questions. Can you explain about Selenium suite or Selenium components? Okay, so you should answer in such a way that Selenium is not a single tool. Selenium is a combination of different components or different tools. Okay, so which are the different tools available in Selenium? Let us see that. So when you talk about Selenium, Selenium is a combination of different tools. So I'll just write it like this. So when it comes to Selenium, there is something called as Selenium IDE. Okay, IDE. What do you mean by IDE? Integrated Development Environment. So I can just tell it as Integrated Development Environment. Okay, so this is one tool, and one more tool is that is Selenium RC. Okay, Selenium RC. RC stands for Remote Control. Okay, this is one type of tool available in Selenium. And also Selenium have one more tool, that is Selenium Web Driver. It is very important. and one more tool in Selenium, that is Selenium Grid. Okay, so these are the 4 different tools available in Selenium, that is Selenium IDE, Integrated Development Environment, Selenium RC, that is Remote Control, Selenium WebDriver, and Selenium Grid. All these are different softwares. Okay, so in these 4 softwares, which are the softwares we are going to learn in the course, and which is very important to the as a freshers, which is very important if you ask me. So when it comes to freshers level, and very important tool in Selenium is, that is Selenium WebDriver. Okay, Selenium WebDriver. It is like an API used in Selenium. Do you know about APIs? So leave about APIs, because in Java anyways you'll be learning. API means as of now understand something is prepared and you are using, like a prepared food. Already it is there, you are using, you are ordering and you are eating it. Okay. As of now, understand that much. That is enough. So in our course, I'll be teaching you how to use this Selenium IDE. Very simple, basic tool it is. In one class, we'll be covering that. And the complete class discussion is all about Selenium WebDriver tool. Okay. Ma'am, what about this grid? About the grid knowledge, as a fresher, you don't want to have. It is like 4 to 5 years experienced test engineers. Selenium automation test engineers will make use of that grid. Okay. So as a fresher, you should be learning about completely about WebDriver and Selenium IDE. Ma'am, what about this remote control? Coming to remote control, when Selenium released, these 4 components was different. Okay, means when they released Selenium, what they have done is they have released remote control also, one tool. For one tool, they have released as IDE. One software or tool they have released as WebDriver, one as Grid. Everyone started using all the different tools. But what everyone started using, they started using IDE or WebDriver or Grid. So very less people started using this remote control. Okay, might be for different reasons. They liked only WebDriver, Grid, and IDE. So what in the future versions, Selenium, when they release 4.3 version, okay, or 4.2, when they release 4.2 version, what they have done is these 2 things they have combined in the Selenium WebDriver itself. Or the features of remote control they have added in the WebDriver itself. Okay, some packages, everything is there, right? So all those packages they have involved in this WebDriver. So now, as of now, in the market, there is nothing like a tool, separate tool called as RC. You'll be getting IDE, Grid, or WebDriver. In WebDriver itself, you'll be having the feature of remote control. Okay, so you will be learning Selenium IDE and the combination of RC and WebDriver. Clear? So from the version that is 4. Selenium 4.0. Okay, from this version onwards, they have combined Selenium RC and WebDriver. Okay, so you'll be learning this and this. Grid, no, that is not your cup of tea, because experience once after you go to the industry, work as a test engineer, so then you can practice on the grid. Clear? So now take down the heading as Selenium components or suite. And write down one note. Selenium is not just a single tool. Selenium is not just a single tool, not just a single tool. It is a combination of, different components or tools and write down this one. Selenium IDE, RC, WebDriver, and Git. Write down one point below that. Note you write. Note. Initially, when Selenium was released, initially, when Selenium was released, Selenium remote control, Selenium remote control, and Selenium web driver, Selenium remote control, and Selenium web driver was the separate tools, was the separate tools of Selenium, was the separate tools of Selenium. Later was the separate tools of Selenium. Later, Selenium remote control, Selenium remote control with all its functionalities, with all its functionalities, with all its functionalities, was merged with Selenium web driver, Selenium web driver tool, Selenium web driver tool, Selenium web driver tool. Fine. So coming to the point, as you have understood about what is Selenium components or suite, okay? So in interview, the same question, like either explain about Selenium suite or Selenium components they will ask. So try to answer. These are the four Selenium components available. So later they merge Selenium RC with WebDriver, and there is nothing called as RC now, that is remote control. You will be using WebDriver itself, okay? And Selenium WebDriver is one of the famous and widely used tool. Once, if you understand Selenium WebDriver completely, then it is very easy to learn Selenium Grid, okay? Because all these are different, you know how to use Eclipse. Similarly, different platform like IntelliJ is there or VS Code is there. So different tools it is, but it performs the same task, okay? You can write the code and you can execute the code, right? Similarly, all the automation testing tools are used for one purpose, that is for performing automation testing. But different tools are there. That's all. Platforms are there. Okay. So coming to the point, like, see, don't get very much what I can say. So you don't feel it is very difficult to understand Selenium, okay? Because Java is there, web technology is there, some different tools we have learned in class, different terms we are understanding in today's class. So don't get confused or don't be scared about the subject, okay? Because it is very easy. Sit in the class for 2 days, you will only get to know like how easy Selenium is. Only basics of Java, that is how to create a class, you know. Yes. How to create a objects, you know. Yes. How to call the methods from the class. How will you call a method of a class? By creating the object, using that object reference, you will call the methods of that different classes. Similarly, in this WebDriver, because I'll be talking more about WebDriver itself, this IDE is a basic tool. No code or nothing is involved. Only WebDriver code, everything is involved. In future classes, you will understand that. When it comes to WebDriver, so many classes, so many packages, everything is designed, already kept. Okay, already it is designed and kept. So as a test engineer, what you have to do is you have to make use of that respective methods in your test scripts. Okay, so if you want to, for example, one example I'll give. For example, assume that string class. Okay, Java package I'm talking about. In Java, in JDK, you have different packages, right? So in the lang package, string class is there. How you made use of string for solving different scenarios of string programs. Similarly, in WebDriver also, they have already several packages are there. In those packages, so many different classes already they have predefined. So many methods they have predefined and kept. You as a test engineers, you have to make use of that methods and you have to execute the test script. This connection is there, right? That is how to connect Eclipse. In Eclipse, you'll be writing the test script, and the test script you should give to Selenium. So how will you connect the Eclipse with the Selenium? Both are different because Selenium is also a software, Eclipse is also a software, correct? So both you have to build the connection to run the test scripts or the to do the automation on the web application. So the connections are very important. So if you understand how to connect the Eclipse with Selenium, Selenium with the browser, if this connections, if you know, that is sufficient. Okay, so writing the test script is very easy. Don't get confused like, okay, from scratch we have to learn everything, nothing like that. So tomorrow's class, everyone should come with your laptops. Okay, so we'll be understanding completely about this IDE. We'll be downloading IDE, each and every steps we'll be doing, and how to use that IDE also I'll be teaching you. Clear? Next class onwards, we'll be completely understanding about this WebDriver, where we will be starting our first script, test script for executing the web app or testing the web application. Clear? Fine. So today's class, it is completely theory. Like, anyways, you can easily understand what is exactly going on. What is the difference between manual and automation testing? We have understood. Then we have understood what is automation testing, how the process of execution will happen in the automation testing, and different tools are there. In that we will be learning Selenium because we are going to perform the testing on web applications. And coming to Selenium, these are the different tools available. In these tools, we'll be learning Selenium, IDE, as well as WebDriver. Clear? This much is clear? Fine. So as of now, I'll just conclude with the class. Tomorrow at sharp 11:30, let's meet and understand about integrated development environment. This too. Clear? Any doubts, you can stay back or you can leave the meeting. Like, I'll share you the QR code, scan it, and you can leave it. Thank you so much. One more assignment I want to give you for the first class itself. So try to understand about the history of Selenium. Okay, this is the one assignment I'm giving to you. Make a research on that. Very simple. Actually, journey started from 2004. Recently, they have introduced this Selenium. So from 2004, who invented, how it got invented, how the environment got changed. So this history, I want you guys to research on that part. Okay, fine. So I'll just share the QR code. Just scan the attendance and then you can leave the meeting. Online students, any doubts, you can just put it in the chat box. Projector is processed. Online students, I'll be sharing the QR code link in your chat box. You can make use of that. Online students, any doubts, you can stay back and tell me in the chat box. So as I told you guys, every day, sit with your laptop and attend the class because it is very important. Uh, from tomorrow onwards, you'll be having complete practical session. Okay. So make sure you are sitting in the wherever you are sitting, you will be having a good internet connection everywhere. If you're facing any problems, you can come down to the uh, learning center and you can practice here itself. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. You can leave the meeting. Click on manual testing option and give the attendance. Okay. Online students, click on manual testing option and give the attendance.